She's like, no, I'm out. Okay. So I think it's Trish that said she's out today. Rory's always late. Tamika's late. Tamika is, remember she had to leave our first meeting because she had a big
Hmm.
sales call with it's a big client, like a big client. And they had questions right now. So they take priority because they will pay all of her bills for
Yeah, all good.
2026. So she will be here soon. Um, let's just like kind of touch base on where we're at, how things are going. Um, Danny, I have your description, I have your title. We have you and Sydney scheduled to do your intro and your outro and all of that. So that will be um, next Friday. And
Hmm.
then we're also doing your brand pictures for
Yep.
broad bases in the afternoon.
Hmm.
So you should be pretty good shape by the end of the day
Sweet.
next. Um, the one thing for both of you that we need to have for next week, and I'll have to say this again later when Tamika gets on, we're gonna record 3 things next week. And you can have ChatGPT write all of these for you. But your first episode is really a commercial, for lack of a better word. So it will be hey, starting January 5th, I'm super excited to tell you about this new podcast. And it's actually not going to be on camera. It will just have your thumbnail and then the audio. But it gives you something to post to get started, right? Um, and so that is usually a minute and a half, something like that. And I put an example in the group chat. Um, then you're also going to do your intro and your outro. And we talked about those previously. Your intro should be super short, right? Welcome to the blah, blah, blah podcast where we talk about this. Let's get started. Something, just something very, very, very quick. And you may decide that you don't even want to do that you just want to go straight in. But I want you to have it if you'd like it. I have done them where they're way too long. And I got a lot of feedback that people don't listen to them anymore.
So
So
how long
keep
do you
it.
think it should be?
I mean, definitely like no more than 10 seconds. So, I
Yeah.
think it's good to be like, welcome to the such and such podcast, you know, where we talk about all things money, right? Um, you could do a little like, be sure to like and subscribe. Let's dive in or something like that. You're going to do the like and subscribe later. Or you could be like, hold on to your seats. Here we go. Or, you know, whatever is most on brand. Then your exit should be that's where you say thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed it. Here's where to find us. Please like the podcast, share it with your friends. So we're going to record all 3 of those next week. And everybody has a different schedule during the day. We do have class time from 10 to 11:30.
Mhm.
But from 10 to 11 is going to be camera confidence. And then from 11 to 11:30 is going to be all about guesting. So if you're having guests, you can stay for that. Otherwise, you can go work in the hall or sit and listen anyway or whatever. So some people are coming early, some people are coming late. We'll we'll work through that. Um, so they'll be together next week, and then and then that's it. That's it for class time. From there, then you'll record your individual podcast, and we will be there with you on Riverside, or Danny, I'll be with you in person. Um, but we're gonna do River. We'll be with you on Riverside, and then we're gonna produce that first episode for you. So,
Fine.
Tasha, did you decide what you're doing for your space?
Yeah, I'm going to use the green room. I've been speaking to my tech guy and he's been looking at everything. He has a suggestion. I'm trying to find where I wrote it. He watched some of the Riverside tutorials and he said they use something called Rodecaster Duo, like a sound box thing. So
Yeah,
we were going to get that because
great.
he seems to think it's Great. I don't know.
It's
I'm just leaving it
fantastic.
up to him because I know nothing about that. And then we're going to buy two separate iPads because that's what they recommend.
Yeah.
Because obviously ours are going to mostly be guests from overseas. So we're going to need two separate inputs. I don't know. I'm a bit
Yep.
confused. He asked me to ask you, does that mean we need two separate Riverside accounts? And who does the guest log into? I mean, we can ask this next week. There's no rush, but we just need to
Yeah.
figure that out because I don't understand that.
Riverside will not work on an iPad
But they suggested it on Riverside.
for the guest, not for the host.
Okay.
So one of
Yeah.
you is going to have one camera is going to have to be the host, and that's off a
Okay.
laptop, unless something's changed. But
Okay.
I did
I'll
this with a
double check it.
client, and we had to have at least one laptop that was
Okay,
the
that's fine.
host. And
We can have
then the either an iPhone or an iPad can log in.
the Riverside needs to be on the laptop.
And then your guest, which would be your second camera,
Hmm.
your second camera would be a guest,
Hmm.
and they can do that on an iPad or a phone, as can your actual guest overseas, because there'll
So
be three.
do we send them a link?
Hmm. Yep. It's
Is it a bit
in
like
River.
Zoom?
No, in Riverside.
Okay.
Because you're going to record in Riverside.
Yes.
So they'll get a link in Riverside.
And then when they get that link, do they have to have Riverside themselves or not?
It's yeah, if they're on their computer, it'll just open up in a browser. If they are using their phone, they will need to download the app.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. And you can see that when you go into Riverside, it'll say like invite a guest, and then you'll have the
Okay.
link. Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
And
I'm
what you'll
not,
probably
we'll
do is
figure it out.
schedule a meeting, is you can do like schedule a recording and then you invite people there and it'll automatically have the link in there.
That's like Zoom.
Yeah, just like Zoom. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So that's a little bit about what's coming up. So our goal today is we are going to talk all about how to market your podcast. So our goal is to have a podcast. I think everyone is doing every other week, right? 2 times a month, every other week. Just depends on how many weeks there are that month. And having 2 weeks worth of content that are going to come out of that. So what I'm going to show you today is how you do that, what that looks like. And I'm actually going to give you a day-by-day plan for all the days of those 14 days. Not weekends, though. We're going to take Sundays off.
Mhm.
All right. Any other questions before we start? Questions about next week or anything? Okay, cool. All right. Hey. So you guys have probably seen this slide before when we were initially kind of talking about this. It's inside your book as well. But the whole goal of having a podcast is that you get to create lots of different content, right? And it's this one-to-many content model, as I call it, and I'm trademarking, is to leverage one podcast into at least one or two weeks of content. So you can do all the things you see on the right-hand side, right? A YouTube channel, you put it on the podcasting networks, a blog, social media content, a press release, and email marketing. So I'm going to show you how to do all of those things today. And it's actually pretty simple.
Okay.
So I want to start first with there is in your workbook the ability to create a custom chat GPT because you're going to want to have that before we move forward. So I also put a training inside of the community. It was a podcast that I did on how to create a custom chat GPT. The reason why a custom chat GPT is really good is it allows chat GPT to talk like you. You're teaching it how to talk like you, right? You're saying, here's how I talk, here's my tone, here's words that I use, here's words that I don't use. I like to use a lot of profanity or I don't use any profanity or, whatever it is, right? So in your workbook, there is a worksheet on how to create your custom chat GPT. So we're going to spend a few minutes just kind of going through that. And then on the next page, it's got everything there. You're going to want to, we'll fill this out together and then you're going to want to go into chat GPT and I'll show you how and create your own custom chat GPT. Unless you already have one. Tasha, do you guys have one yet? No.
Yep.
Danny, I'm sure you guys don't have one yet for broad basis.
No.
Okay. So let's look through. I'm gonna do like my little AI version of me.
That's cool.
I'm playing with all the different AI image generators,
You're
and
missing your glasses there.
I know I did miss my glasses, but like AI doesn't need glasses. Learned about that. I went to an event last night, and I took off my glasses. I went home to change, and I took off my glasses to take off a necklace, and then I was in a hurry, and I left, and I'm driving to this event, and I'm like, why can't I see anything? Like,
Yeah.
I don't have my glasses on. I'm like, I'm gonna go to this thing. No one's gonna recognize me.
Hey, that brings me a quick question that I had too. Wearing glasses in the podcast, will I get a lot of light shine off of the? Okay, so I should keep them off.
Yeah, I mean, if you cannot have them, that's great. If you're like me and they become part of your brand,
Mhm.
then you can see like there's a little bit of glare on mine, but if you do the
Mhm.
light where I kind of recommended, where it's up here
Yeah.
at a 45-degree angle, it's usually okay. Where it gets to be a problem is if you have like a phone with a ring light and it's right in front of you and then you see the ring. Right?
Hmm.
For me, it's usually okay unless I like, start doing this when I talk and then you can see the
Mm.
light a little bit more. But if it's high enough, you're okay.
Okay.
I adjust in my studio when I have someone with glasses. I raise the light a little bit so we try to avoid glare. So okay, so I have created a couple custom chat GPTs. I actually have created one for all my clients, and we go through this process to help ChatGPT talk like you. And it's pretty cool. You can change it over time too. But here's the basic questions that you want to answer first. And there's a form over on the right-hand side too. So you want to say, right? Um, you are whatever your name is, right? Or, this is the company. We always want to kind of personalize it. Like Tasha, even though it's you and your dad, it'd probably be written from you, right? Because
Mhm.
that's kind of where we're going.
Yeah.
Um, so, for me, like, you know, and you want to talk to ChatGPT as if you're training it to be you. So you're like, you are Sherry Sutton, a marketing mentor,
Mm.
right? Who helps business owners with raising visibility online, right? And get as specific as you can. And the
Mm.
more you tell it, the better off you are. And I would definitely also include like your podcast description, right? All it you can give it too much, but you also can't give it too much, right?
Mm.
So I like to give it as much as I can. Okay. Once you've done that, you're going to define your voice and your tone.
Mm.
So you want to find like 3 to 5 adjectives that describe who you are, right? So they can be like supportive, funny, bold, kind, vulnerable, professional, playful, right? Like mine say like friendly yet professional, um No nonsense. Tell it like likes it is with love. I think
Mm.
I've got spunky in there. Um, and that's really going to influence the way that it writes because it will go everywhere from, hey girl, what's up? You can play with it, right? You could even be like, I'm going to make it, you could say like, I want you to talk like a sorority girl teenager, right? I mean, you really can't like think about what the brand is that you want to portray. Um, any questions on that piece?
Nope.
I'll give you guys a couple minutes to kind of pull that together, those two pieces, and let me know when you're done. I'll grab a few bites of my food if you don't mind.
Mhm.
And they don't have to be single words. You could say, I want to sound like a grandmother talking to her 3-year-old grandbaby, right? Like you can be as descriptive as makes sense to you.
Mm.
How's it coming?
Good.
Good.
So then you want to tell it who you're talking to. So it understands, it will adjust your tone a little bit, right? If there's something conflicting there. So you may want to say, you want to talk about, here's who your audience is, but in the sense of like, here's what they struggle with, a little bit about like the types of people they are. So like, let's say you are um, an X-ray technician company, like an X-ray machine company, and you're talking to X-ray techs who like understand the jargon, right? They're PhD level people. The tones, the way that it talks is going to be very different, right? PhD to PhD versus like, oh, I'm talking to people who, are elementary age kids or, right, whatever. So you want to describe your audience here a couple things. What are their challenges and how do you help fix them? And we've done a lot. We did a lot of this sort of in the first module. But then, a little bit about their demographics, right? like Tasha, you could be like, all of my audience is in Europe, so make sure you use European spellings.
Mm.
Right. That's an interesting, like that might be something you want to point out. Or um, they're bilingual, and so we want to be careful not
Mm.
to use too many big words or, sentence structures that might not be super clear to someone who's ESL. So these are the kind of things you want to think about when you're writing that description of your audience. And again, some of this you may still have from the first module where we talked about this. This just builds on that.
Mika.
Hi, y'all.
Oh, you've got matching glasses.
Hey, Tamika.
You, Shamika, we are in your book. We're working from this page right now, creating your custom chat GPT.
There.
Do you already have one? I'm sorry. No, do you already have a custom chat GPT?
And I kind of tuned it up,
Yeah.
but I'm okay. Keep going.
We're on part 3,
Okay.
step 3. How are you guys doing on defining your audience? Good. Okay. So then what you want to do is set your structure. If you care, you can let ChatGPT just make a decision for you. I teach a very specific 4-part formula for writing copy. So I have taught ChatGPT my 4-point formula. And so everything it writes for me is done in those 4 points. If you have a different kind of way that you like to write things, you can put that in there. Like if you want to do story and lesson and an action step or whatever you want to, if you have a specific structure that you want it to format in. I will teach you my format as well. So my 4-part format, and I'll send you something that has more details on this. I'll post it like a full episode about this, but I'll give you the recap, the high level. I always start with what's the problem. So literally the first sentence is what's the problem from the client's perspective. And I always actually do it as a question. Do you feel this way? Are you struggling with this? So that's always my first sentence. Sometimes I'll do 2 questions, right? If I'm leading them somewhere and I can't really do it in 1 question. The second part is showing empathy. And that is, it can come in a couple different ways. One is a personal empathy statement, and that could be, I felt that way too, right? When I first started my business, I, didn't make any money and spent millions of dollars or something. I don't know. Um, or it could be a statement about your client, about your clients. Obviously, don't share names unless they say it's okay. But something like, I hear this all the time from my clients, or I have this conversation with entrepreneurs every single day. I use that one a lot. The third type of empathy statement that you could use is research. So, Tasha, this might be kind of right up your alley, right? And all of you really. But a recent study shows that 30% of people have the same problem, right? And it really sets you up to be seen as the leader. So now you've hit them in the gut with, do you feel blah, whatever it is. Then you've said, look, you're okay. It's normal, right? You're
Mm.
validating their emotions and their state. Then you get to what's your proposed resolution in like 2 or 3 sentences, which is very hard to do. It shouldn't be just, well, listen to my podcast, I'll tell you the answer. You should tell them something, right? Give them a little nugget, you know? Um, I was meeting with one of my coaches yesterday and we were talking about C's Candy. I don't know if you've ever been to C's Candy. And their whole thing is like samples, 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 samples. She's like, give them samples and then they'll buy, right? Once they understand the merchandise, they will buy. And that's that same idea of give them a little taste. Because these are the way I teach writing content is in this non-spammy way. And
Mm.
if you're going to be non-spammy, the best way to be non-spammy is to be of service. And the best way to be of service is say, if you have this problem, here's how I recommend you solve it. So once you've gotten, so problem statement, empathy, give them a little bit about how to solve it, you know. And then the last piece is some sort of a call to engage. Hey, Rory, the last
Oh,
piece of it is some sort of call to engage. And that can be a couple different things. It can be um, head over to YouTube and watch the full episode, which is perfect for you guys with this. It can be, what do you guys think? Put a comment below because you don't always want to be like, hey, call this number.
mhm.
That's when you can tell like that those don't work anymore. Those kind of posts don't work. And they're actually like minimized, right? So no phone numbers, no email addresses, no no website URLs. But you can say like, hey, let me know what you think. Put a comment below. But so I don't call it a call to action. I call it an invitation to engage because I want you to shift from that idea of call to action, right? Like I gotta get them to buy, which you do want them to buy. But sometimes the best way to do that is to have a longer conversation. And so you don't always want it to be call me to set up an appointment. Call me to set up an appointment, right? It might be, hey, put a comment below if you've struggled with this, or tell us what you think, right? Or go listen to the full podcast. I'm not going to go into this very much today, but I'll give you one little thing. Um, there is I keep saying software, but it's not really software, but there is an app called ManyChat. And if you have seen on Instagram, does ManyChat work in LinkedIn, Tamika? No, it's an Instagram thing. And if have you ever seen on an Instagram post where they say, put money, type money in the comments and I'll send you a blah, blah, blah. That is done through a system called ManyChat.
Many.
And I'm using it more these days as well. It's a great way. Then you can send them to a landing page, you get their emails, and then you give them whatever that freebie is. It really only works on Instagram. Yeah, thank you, Tamika. So that's another invitation to engage that you can utilize. But again, I think it's only Insta. I don't think it works on Facebook. What you can do is, Tamika, you can just tell us. Yeah, Meta. Okay, so Meta across Meta. So it does work on Facebook as well, but I think only on the business page, not on your personal page. And I know we do a lot of I tell people to do a lot of marketing on their personal page.
Mhm.
So you could still use that copy and say, put whatever, buy or, you know, whatever, heart or something in the comments below, and I'll send it to you. In some of the other apps, you just have to watch, right? And if they do it, just send them a direct message. So, does that make sense? That's my format. that I like to use and that I teach. You can use it or you cannot. Kind of depends on you. Some people are journalism majors, have a, you want to do it a certain way. So I'm giving you mine. Rory, we are working on creating our custom chat GPT in our workbook.
Okay. Where's my workbook?
All right.
How you doing, Rory?
Hey, Danny, how are you?
I'm good.
All right. So that is step 4 of your structure or of your creating your custom chat. And then step 5 is if you want to add any particular kind of flourish, like at the end of all of my emails, I always say like XO Sherry, right? You can add something like that there if you want, or, like cheers, or, here's to making you make more money. Here's to having digital swagger, right, Tamika? But if you have it in your custom chat, it will do it every time. I had to take it out of my custom chat because it now, like, even when it does anything, it does like XO Sherry Sutton. I'm like, it does. Oh, I'm just asking you for like advice on my, whatever, my schedule for my kid. Like, I don't need XO. So you will create a monster with whichever you put in there. Do you guys want a few minutes to kind of finish writing this out so you've got your thoughts down on paper? Okay. Rory and Tamika, on the right-hand side of your workbook, there's this pull it together where you can write down all of the things that we've been talking about. You guys need a few more minutes? Okay.
I think I'm all right. So the please mirror the style of this example. I mean, I'm not sure.
So thanks for pointing that out. I was going to bring that up next.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's great. Although I just took a bite of food, so you guys are working.
It looks good.
Right? Hail, ground beef, and rice.
Wow. Very
Everything
healthy.
you need.
That's kind of our like go-to meal around here. So if you are someone who has had the opportunity to speak or to have been on podcasts, you can take the transcripts from those talks and upload it into ChatGPT and say, attached are some examples of my speaking style, how I talk, and I would like for you to be writing the way I talk. And so here are some examples. The other thing that you can do, and this is what I did, is I had a very good copywriter do my copy a couple years ago. So I copied and pasted like all my website copy and put it into a document and put it inside my custom chat and said, here's, my go-to copy on my website. Make sure that anything you're writing goes along with that. So that's what you can do for those things. So again, if you've had the opportunity to either have, like, if you have some really good copy where you're like, this freaking nails me, nails my voice, right? I love it. You can use that. Or again, a speaking opportunity like Tamika just spoke at something called Verve, and was fantastic. And so I think Tamika, that would be a great like transcript to upload and be like, this is how I talk, right? Because then it'll start doing the don't tell me you don't have 15 minutes. She had a great moment during the talk where she was like, don't tell me you don't have 15 minutes a day to do LinkedIn. I'm not as cool as her, so I sound like an idiot when I say it, but she sounded super
You
excited.
don't.
Or you can take, like, Tamika, you were on my Heart of the Hustle show. You could take the transcript from that, right? And put it up, something like that. So let me show you how you actually do this. Again, I'm going to go through it really quickly because we've got a ton to cover today, but I want to give you just a quick. All right. So this is ChatGPT. You can see over here all the different GPTs that I've made for different clients. And there's more. So what you can do is over here under GPTs. Now you're going to have the pro version if you don't already. All right. So you're going to hit explore. And then up here, you're going to hit create. One of the other things I just want to point out, there are all sorts of cool GPTs that you can download that will help you do all sorts of different types of things, right? So there's also, I won't go, I'm not going to go crazy with it, but you can do like I downloaded one that is helping me, like, how would I structure a book, right? Like so there's tons of really cool ones out there. All right. So then up here in the corner, you hit create. And then this is where you can create your own custom chat. So here you can do, right, Tamika, you can do just a quick description. This is a podcast, this is my marketing content creation assistant for Tamika Brunetti. Then you take what you just wrote and you put it into the instructions. Then here under knowledge, that's where you can upload transcripts. As of the last time I knew, you can't upload videos. They're just too big, right? So just something to think about. There are different models of ChatGPT. You can pick one. I use 5. ChatGPT 5 thinking will take forever. Don't use that one yet. But you can pick a model that you recommend. They're all good for different things. I'm not an expert that's a whole other conversation. Okay. So I'll show you an example. This is the example that I did in my, well, so this is the one you will see. Oh, I didn't put anything in there. Never mind. Let's see. One for
I thought
um
Bob was the one you did in your podcast on that one episode.
yeah, Bob was in one of my episodes.
That was funny.
And we manage all of his marketing for him. So these are all the ones that I've created for clients. So like Bob, let's see. If you go to Bob's and oops, explore my GPTs. Oh, and then if I go Bob and then I can we
Oh,
don't
I
know
was
Zelina.
thinking Bob the Hat Maker.
Oh yeah, that's the one I did in my podcast. But here you go. So this is Bob Healy's content creator, right? This GPT acts as a content creator for this guy. He's a podcast host and a yoga teacher, right? Be sure that you reflect these values. Here's the tone, right? All the things that we just did together. Okay. And then we could upload some files here if we wanted of speaking engagements that he's done, that kind of thing. Cool.
How do you make it private?
Private. This one's not private. This is with anyone with the link, but otherwise I think they're private.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't just show up on that GPT list unless you give it permission.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And again, there's a whole training in it's a podcast that I did. It's in the community, so you can watch that if you want more details. Okay. Ready to keep going? Okay. Where am I? Tamika and Rory, you missed the ChatGPT version of Sherry. This QR code, this goes to the training that I was just telling you about on how to create a custom ChatGPT if you would like to watch that. Again, it is also in the community, but I wanted to put the QR code here as well. All right. So this is your post-recording workflow. So once you've recorded, this is what you're going to do. So now already know how to record in Riverside, right? Or you're going to record, however you're going to record. Most of you Riverside. All right. So the first thing you're going to do, and you'll have access. I'll put each of these as downloadable in the community. But the first thing you're going to do is edit the podcast. You're going to add the intro, you're going to add the exit. We already talked about that in another session, so I won't go back through that. The next thing you're going to want to do is download the video and the audio. If you remember in Riverside, you have to download them separately. And you want to download the transcript. And that's what's over on that left-hand side. You can also click, there's a button where your words, right, are over on the left. You can hit download or just save or copy. The third thing you're going to do is you're going to open ChatGPT and you're going to use ChatGPT. You're going to copy and paste the transcript and you're going to use ChatGPT to create all your marketing materials. And let me show you what I posted for you earlier today. In the Podcast Launch Lab group, you will find underneath this marketing tab, you will find your go-to ChatGPT prompt once you have your transcript. So you can copy and paste this. So we're going to do it. I'm going to copy and paste this. We're going to do this together from my thing. All right. You're going to copy and paste this. You're going to go over to ChatGPT. Sorry, I have to keep moving because I have different chats. All right. This is mine, my business growth guide. This is my custom chat GPT. And I'm going to paste it in here. And then it's going to say, great, upload your transcript. So then I'm going to go, if I go back, I'm going to go over to my Riverside. Sorry, I forgot to open this before we started. And I'm going to open this. This is a podcast that I recorded earlier this week. I'm going to go to recordings. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to edit it. I'll go over here. So now I'm in Riverside. Over here is my transcript. So I'm going to click on this and I'm going to hit copy transcript. I'll come over to ChatGPT and I'm going to paste the transcript in. And now, like magic, it's going to do all my marketing materials for me.
Is that how you did my stuff?
Yeah. So we use this for
Wow.
Heart of the Hustle. Okay. So
Excellent.
now what I have is part one. Here's my marketing toolkit. So here's my SEO optimized show notes. So these are what I'm going to use in YouTube as well as in Captivate. So you can just copy and paste this. Now, read it. I did put in the prompt to to take out any obvious chat GPT things. Write it like you're not chat GPT, but sometimes they're still there. So you can just copy and paste this and use it. Now, I'm going to show you something cool. Remember how I told you that I trained my chat GPT to do that four-part system? My four-part writing system. One is ask a question from the client's perspective. Two is show empathy. Three is give them some feedback. And four is an invitation to engage. You're going to see that in every single thing it produces. So here's the show notes. Question, right? It didn't do the empathy piece. So I could go back and fix that. But in this episode, I talk about this, right? Grab your free planner. All right. So what it gave me is SEO optimized show notes. You can use these in YouTube and in Captivate when you upload your audio. Then it made me YouTube tags. When you upload things to YouTube, there's a space where you can add tags. I'll show you that. But you can just copy and paste these. There is a SEO enabled blog post. And it says that it's too long, so we'll have to put a note down here to give me the blog. We'll come back to that. But it wrote me a blog post with and I asked it to do it SEO enabled. So any words that I use a lot that are common words that people would be searching for based on research, that's what I asked it to do. It has those as key SEO. I also made sure that in the prompt, I said, this is the current, this is based on the current recommendations by Google and other search engines for how to get seen. So then I have 2 promotional emails, and it actually gives you the email. And here's that 4-part formula. Right, here's your first email. Have you ever felt like this? You're not alone. I've been there too. That's exactly, here's a little bit of advice. Call to action. Listen now.
XO Sherry, your marketing mentor.
XO Sherry. Because I'm like a crazy fan of Gossip Girl. If anyone's ever watched Gossip Girl, I literally that's where it comes from.
I love that.
So then if you watched Nobody Wants This, they had like a little crossover. No one's understanding anything I'm talking about. I have been so excited. My poor husband was like, relax. Like, this
I've
is what
seen
you do during
Gossip
the
Girl.
Cowboys.
What's the other show?
Nobody wants this.
Nobody wants it. Okay, so look that up.
It's a
I
whole
saw
thing.
it, but I didn't
I'll
start
give you
it.
the tirade on why it's amazing later. Okay, so you've got two different emails, and I'm going to show you when you're going to post those here in a minute. I'm going to give you a calendar in a minute. All right. You also have a press release. Press releases are totally optional, but I just wanted to throw it out there. I have some clients who come on my show and they do a press release every time. Totally up to you if you want to do it. And then it will have here your plan for like what you want to each social media post over the next couple days. You can change around these dates. I gave you some dates. You can use these dates, whatever you want to do. Now, what I asked it to do is give you recommended parts of the podcast and recommended parts of recommended sections in the podcast where that would make a good reel. So this is saying anywhere from the second to about 1 minute in, that's a good post, right? It's kind of where I guess I'm talking about the posting and praying cycle. And then it gave me the actual caption that I can use for social as well. And then hashtags. The hashtags are kind of dead. Goes back and forth, depends on the day. So I recommend doing a combination of reels, right? Short clips and of carousels. And I'll show you kind of an ideal schedule, but this gave you a ideal. So like this gave you like, here are the actual slides that you could do in a carousel. Here's a different video clip. And then you can go back to Riverside, find that part of the transcript, delete everything else, and save just that part. Now you've got your reel. So we're going to say blog post because it was too long. And then here's your blog post that you can just copy and paste and use for on your website. Now, one of the things that's happening is a lot of the search engines don't want you to do what we're doing right now, which is copying and pasting from ChatGPT. Because they want all the content to be user generated. Now, this is based on something that you said, right? This isn't out of left field, but there are other apps that you can copy and paste this into before you put it into your blog. And as those come out, and I'm testing a few of them right now, as I find one that I like and I think is good, I'll add it. I'll add it into the group, but just something to keep in mind for now. It's fine. Just read through it, make sure it's still got your stuff, right? That says what you want. So it's got, I think it's 1,200 to 1,500 word blog post. XOXO, Sherry. So there you go. Cool, huh? Now you still have to copy and paste and move all that stuff over. And, there's still a lot of work from that point. But once you have the transcript, it really does help. Chat GPT really can help. Any questions so far? Okay. So that's what you're going to do here in step 3. So now we've just done step 3. Step 4 is you're going to upload your audio file to Captivate, and you're going to use the description that ChatGPT just made for you. Then you're going to upload the video file onto YouTube with the description, same description. And then you're also going to use the tags that we had. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to upload the video and the blog post to your blog. Now, often, most blogs won't let you upload the whole video because they're really big. So that's why putting it on YouTube is first, because often your blog will just link to your YouTube video. It depends on your system, but 99% of them are like that. Because for your website to store and serve all of your videos, it's going to slow down your website massively. So you wanna just link it in with YouTube. Then you're going to want to go back to Riverside and you're going to want to create some short 1-ish minute videos of key moments. So there's two different ways you can do this. One is ChatGPT has given you some recommendations based on your transcript. So you can go in, you can look at where in the transcript that is, and delete everything else except that one little part. Or in Riverside, there's that magic clips feature. You can use the magic clips feature. If you do that, you're going to want to open each clip and then you can copy the transcript for just that clip and go back into ChatGPT and say, hey, do this, give me a caption for just this part of the transcript. I used Magic Clips for my last podcast, and it did a good job of picking good spots. The one thing that I want to keep an eye on, I want you guys to keep an eye on, is the resolution on those Magic Clips is very low. And so when you post them, they're a little like blurry, like a little pixelated. You'll see that if you go and look through my feed. The last couple podcasts, like my last, like there were like 3 or 4, it's not the quality that I like. So I need to research and make sure that it's not a Magic Clip issue. It's why I'm giving you this as an option as well. So, but either way, you're going to go in and you're going to make some short clips. And you're going to want 5 of them. And I'll show you why in a minute. So then you're going to post those on social, and I've got a whole calendar for you here in a second. You want to post at least 3 times a week, preferably more. And you've got a lot. I mean, you've got a lot of the content right here, right? Then you're going to want to send an email to your base using whatever email system you have. And you've got emails pre-written. You're going to want to copy and paste from that ChatGPT to create a press release. I use a system called EIN to release my podcast, my press releases. It's okay. It's not great. But the nice thing about it is you can have like as seen on CBS, ABC, right? You can, and if you are a specific to a specific industry, you can get shown on like D&E. You can be like, oh, we were as seen on Bloomberg, right? Some of those. Again, totally optional. I can do a separate training on how to do press releases, but I just wanted to give you the basics. And then you're going to want to create any other graphics or carousels for your social media. So that's your workflow. Any questions?
I love this. Is there a way for the geeks in the room, if you can make this into like a checklist format? Okay.
And I've got a checklist, kind of a checklist on the next page. And
Oh,
I channeled my inner Tamika and did like a
planner
Monday
style.
through, like a
Yeah.
planner style. So you're welcome because I
Thank
knew you would
you.
ask that. So this is your, it's very small to see. You can download it. It's already in the community. Um, but this is your podcast promotional plan. I'm assuming in this plan that you're going to launch on Monday. You can launch on any day you want. If you are more of a consumer-based podcast, I would actually do later in the week or even the weekends. But for most of us, we're business-based. So Monday, I do Heart of the Hustle on Mondays, and I do my Your Marketing Mentor on Thursdays because I just want enough space, but it's totally up to you and your business and what you have going on. And um, I would keep it towards the beginning of the week. I probably will change that Thursday to like Wednesday. Part of it is I've got Heart of the Hustle that I've got two, so I'm competing with the two. But anything business related earlier in the week is usually better. So day one, you're gonna put the podcast on YouTube and Captivate. Now, keep in mind, you can do this 3 weeks before and have it be scheduled. So a lot of this stuff you can schedule, but if you're a do it that day kind of person, this is what you would do. You're gonna want to put your blog's gonna go live. You're gonna maybe publish a press release. Again, all things you can schedule in advance. You're gonna want to send an email to your base, the first email. And then that first day, I like to just do like a podcast announcement, like take the thumbnail from the event, from the podcast, and just post that. Hey, my new podcast is live. I've been going straight to Reels, and I think sometimes people don't recognize that it is a new episode. So I'm actually changing the way that I market, where it's like, hey, new episode alert, right? Like it's a very clear new episode promotion. Um, so that would be on day one. Then let's say Tuesday you do a short video. Wednesday you do a short video. Thursday you could do a carousel graphic. And again, all of this you've gotten advice on what to do and what content makes sense from ChatGPT. Friday another short video. Maybe Saturday or Sunday, if you want, you could do like a quote graphic. I do a lot of quote graphics for my Heart of the Hustle. I've got like a quote. I usually pull out like 2 quotes from each of my guests, and then I'll make a little graphic with their picture. Or you could do it with, that's yours, a quote from you. So we're going to take Sundays off, or you can take as many days off as you want. This is just a recommended schedule. I mean, this is frankly what I do. Um, then the following week, let's say on Monday, you do another one of the short videos. Tuesday, you can do a short video and maybe the second email to your base. And again, ChatGPT wrote you two. You could do a carousel graphic from the content. Maybe on Thursday, you do another quote graphic. Friday, I've got another short video. Fridays, Fridays are good as long as you get people early in the morning. And I would sometimes have the Friday ones, if you really want to be strategic, be a little bit of the funnier ones, because people are a little over it by Friday. So, if there's something that you said that was like, pay attention to this, or, whatever, like it's Fridays, you want to do something a little more fun, but whatever. It's done. Get it, just get it out there. Don't overthink it too. And then Saturday, you could do a behind the scenes of you recording your episode. Now, hopefully, you have recorded it before Saturday when it's due on Monday. But it happens. Happened to me this week. Happened to me last week. Sometimes it happens, right? So it's okay, right? But whenever, get in the habit of when you're recording, doing some sort of behind the scenes. And it can be a couple different things. You could do like, hey, I'm recording my new podcast. Here I am in the like Tasha, you're doing the studio, the green screen room, right? Like here I am with dad. Here's the room. Super excited to talk to you about blah with special guest blah. Episode will be out on February 10th. Rory and I did this. So when Rory was on Heart of the Hustle, we did a little promo video when she was in, and we were like, "Hey, I'm here with Rory, and we just recorded our episode, and it's coming out on such and such a date, and this is what we're talking about." Right? So you can do something that's like a kind of standard commercial kind of thing if you want. The other thing you could do is just get in the habit of putting your phone. You could do like a time lapse and just kind of put your phone on your desk or on the other side if you're at the studio and just do a time lapse of you talking. Danny, this would be fun for you, right? Because it's both of you. I've done that too. Um, and then you're not gonna, again, probably won't be the Saturday before it's due, but and then just just keep it off to the side so you have it. I'm gonna put this schedule back up. I know you probably can't even read it, but I just want to. Any thoughts? Any questions? Pretty cool, right?
Very cool. Looks good.
Yes, absolutely.
One piece of content,
Mhm.
you can get a lot out of it. Now, there's still a lot of work to do, right? You still have to create the clips. You still have to copy and paste. You still have to bring it over. You still have to make sure it sounds like you and that chat GPT didn't fart out, right? You still have to make the graphics. There's still a lot of work to do, but
Still
you at
not too
least have
bad.
some direction.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So, would you like to see how I keep myself organized when it comes to tasks? Did I show you my Trello board yet? Yeah. I don't remember if I did. All right. So I will show you my Trello board. So this is what I use and my team uses to manage all of our tasks. Um, I have, if you've never used Trello before, it's all cards and you can put a little graphic in them so they've got a visual, which I have to have because that's how my brain works. But everything is organized in columns. And then in each column, you can have different cards with different projects inside of them. So I do a different column for each month. And then I also have columns for major projects. So here's an example. Here is the column for October, and each card represents a different piece of content. So here is this is a Heart of the Hustle podcast with this guy, right? I actually have created for every Heart of the Hustle, there's actually a checklist in here if you want to put a checklist in there. We create separate cards for every single activity because I just like to see all of them. So you can create a separate card for every single post, or you can just do something like this where you have a checklist. And you can do that inside Trello. I won't go crazy with the Trello. I'm just giving you kind of a high level view. Then you can see everything has different dates. This is my Your Marketing Mentor podcast. This is another Heart of the Hustle. These are the reels of my different podcast guests. They're all got a date on them. So, like, here is on here, I keep the actual reel itself. So, the MP4 of the reel itself. I keep a JPEG of the cover just so I can see it here. I've got in the description, I've got all of the captions written there. And then we also put in there where it's linked to on our drive. So I have, like, you can see anything that happened in October is all here.
Very thorough.
There's Rory.
Mhm.
There's all Rory's. There's Tamika. Here's your marketing mentor. And then there's all these reels. Like, here's a reel for your marketing mentor. And it's here. We just didn't do a graphic of it. This is the one I was telling you about. It's not like the best. Like it's not as crisp as I would like it. This I used Riverside
Oh, okay.
Magic clips. So, but it was easy. And I can tell you what I did for that one is I didn't have my editor, so I was on my own because I waited too long. Full disclosure. Um, and it was good. It was, also like I like to do that so I know what I'm teaching you guys. So it's good practice. But so I have every single thing that was posted during the month. Right? Some of these haven't been marked off as being done yet. So there is something up here called a calendar pop-up. So what you can see on here is the calendar of everything that happens day by day. So for my planning people, um, and then you can see it's not super filled out coming up, but it's got like the big stuff coming up, right? And then it'll get filled in as we go. Or you can fill like we go through phases where we're really far ahead and we're not, and it just kind of depends on the workflow at the time. So the other things, any questions so far? So I have October, I have November, December. I have a column for my upcoming Your Marketing Mentor podcasts. Um, I have my upcoming Heart of the Hustle podcast. So this is how we schedule when so we know, oh, okay, here's who's going to be each week, right? For the rest of the year. We have like a ton of pieces of content that go to our Heart of the Hustle clients that don't go on my social calendar necessarily. So they all just get dumped in here. I have some content in progress, right? So this is where I like dump like Danny, here's the video of your podcast install, right? And then when I post these, then or when they're done, right? Oh, Tamika, you're in the wrong spot. These go over here. And you can just drag and drop things around. This is kind of what we use, like, oh, okay, what else should we be working on right now? I've got current calls to actions. This is where I've got like my freebies that are coming up. Like I created a strategy where I've got 4 freebies for next year. I'm going to create all those now, and then I've got them to use throughout the year. So I've got a card for each of those, and I had ChatGPT kind of help me outline what those are. I have a column for client projects. So, every once in a while, somebody will ask me, like, hey, can you do this for me? Like, Rory was in the studio yesterday, and let's say her editor is like, yeah, I don't know anything about podcasts. Can you edit that podcast for me? That would go underneath here for client projects. Then I've got like a bank of like just we don't have anything else to post graphics. Some of these are like a year old, but we'll still go back to this every once in a while when we don't have something. We made this bank over the holidays last year when it was kind of slow. I will, underneath content ideas, these are all like I have hundreds and hundreds, probably hundreds of content ideas here. This is where I dump my ideas when I have an idea in the shower for a post and I know I'll forget it. Will just go here, I'll create a card. Or if I read an article or I see a quote, right? Or I read something and I like it, right? And I want to write a post about it someday. So I just dump everything in here. This could probably be cleaned out. It's really, but it's good to have a place where you dump that stuff, right? We also have a resources column, and this is where I've got like all my logins. Um, I have like promo videos, I've got logos, I've got I like save my business card in here, got my address in there. Like what's my go-to description? What's my go-to headshot, right? They're all just kind of in here. So I have like one place I can go to. Some of these are probably needs to be cleaned out. I have kind of a miscellaneous archive. And then over the year, as the months go by, I just move the columns over. So I have every single month of the year. So, funny story, I opened my Trello one day and there's this column called Comfy Koala. I didn't make it. Client didn't make, like my admin didn't make, nobody made, we have no idea where it came from. So I'm just leaving it there because, you know, I'm superstitious. So there's a column there called Comfy Koala. No idea what it is. So that's how I manage myself. Then the cool thing is that at the end of the year, I will create an archive and I will move all of those columns over to another board that will be my 2025 archive. And so the cool thing is that I have archives from 2022, 2023, and 2024. So I know everything that I've posted. I have access to everything that I've posted for the last 3 years. So you'll see that this is organized. You can tell where I did a brand change. But the good thing is that if you have programs that are repeatable, like here's a good example. This is how to promote your Black Friday deals. I'm going to repost this, right? Um, Probably, you know, should probably do that today or sometime in the next few days. And I've already got all the copy, so I can just reuse some of the copy. This is a lifesaver to have this. And we manage all of our clients this way. So if you see, this is my client Nelson, you know, we do all of his social. Here's what we did in October. Here's what's coming up in November. And then here's the archive. And then we've got resources. Like I've got all of his headshots in here. So if he asks me like, hey, where are my logos? I can send him here and he's got his headshots and his logos and what are my passwords? They're usually a lot of clients who I'm like, here's your passwords. They're in here. Go in logins. But it's nice for my clients too because it gives them a one place. And so anybody who we manage, like he's not on. He is a guest on Heart of the Hustle, and then he also we then post all of his reels to his social, and I do a press release and all that stuff. So we've got it all here. And if he's ever like, hey, when are things going out? We can be like, just go to the Trello board and it's all there. once you get in the hang of it, it really is very, very easy because you're gonna have lots of different things, right? And one of the challenges with ChatGPT, and I've been finding this more and more as I've been asking it to do complex tasks, is it can only handle chats that are so long. It will start, they actually call it hallucinating. It will start hallucinating and like losing track of where you're at. And like, so you're going to want to start a separate chat for everything you do. Um, but you also don't want to use ChatGPT as the place where you sort of store, like have an archive of everything that you've done. Just because it'll get lost. I find it hard to go back and find things mostly because it's not as visual as Trello, but that's just the way my brain works. So as you're creating these pieces of content, your blog or your whatever, right? Go in here, create a card. Here's my blog post. Have all the copy, mark off when you have it done, then you know when it went live and you know when things are done. And this is our go-to every day. I meet with my video editor, social media person every morning, and we just open up the Trello board and what's coming up and what do I need to do and what do you need to do and all that. Even when I do like off the cuff things, I create a card and I put it in there. Like if I go to an event or something, I try to save them in there. Because you also don't know like when Facebook's gonna delete your crap, right? Or one of these platforms. So at least you have it. Okay, I'll stop talking. Thoughts. Tamika, are you proud of me? I don't do paper.
I am proud of you. I'm very proud of you.
Tamika,
I
Tamika
love it.
like taught a class on like how to use planners, and I don't do paper planners anymore. But I have like, I'm a little intimidated by her level of organization. So,
Oh, don't be. Please don't.
and you can do all that, you can do it on paper, you can do whatever. This is just how I do it.
Well, you don't have to create a checklist because all of what you have shared, I'm going to put into my planner. I have another planner for work
Of course.
that actually has like all these like a Gantt chart type of thing.
Oh, cool. Yeah, yeah.
I could put that in there. So
Awesome. Yeah.
straight nerd over here. I'm proud of it.
Yeah, and Tamika, or anybody, if you guys have suggestions on how you want this stuff formatted, happy to do that. Um, I'm going to create what makes sense in my brain. Doesn't mean that makes sense in anybody else's brain. So,
I think Trello looks awesome. I just need to learn how to use it
yeah.
because I'm very visual. I tend to be paper, like I've got hundreds of paper planners, but Trello looks great. So I'm going to give it my best shot.
Yeah. I went paperless probably around the time I started using Trello. Um, so probably 3 years now. So I have no paper. I mean, I don't have any paper on my desk. I have a stack of business cards. I have this because I made this for you guys.
I
But
mean, I'm not
that's
promising to be paperless though, because I love paper.
it.
I'm an artist. I like drawing. I can't be
Yeah,
paperless.
yeah,
But Trello for this specifically, I think is great.
yeah, yeah.
Agreed.
And this is something like Rory, I know you have a VA. Like I have my Trello board is shared between me and my VA, and I'm like, go into Trello, make sure you make Trello cards for everything, make sure you're right. And so then it also is a way for me to go in and track what's going on. It's a nice way to manage teams.
Mhm.
The other cool thing that you can do with Trello, and I've done this at various times depending on who's on my team, you can actually do a time monitor. So when your VA is going in and working on a project, they can like check in on the card and then check out. So it will track how long they're spending on things. we're probably going to start doing that again just so that I know my pricing is in line as I'm doing more done for you for people. So
That's cool.
Trello has lots of cool. It will sync with your calendar. I did it for like 5 minutes, and then we have so much stuff that we're doing between like client work and my work. It was like my calendar was way too much, so I stopped. But it will sync with your Google Calendar, and so there's lots of cool stuff you can do with it. Okay, this was a lot of information.
Yeah, well, and I got here late.
Good?
Yeah.
Too much? Are we doing too much in these classes?
Not
I
at
feel
all.
like by the end, you guys are always glazed over. I'm like, okay, bye. Are we doing too much? Or is this the right amount?
I
Or
don't think
more?
so. I think it's just the right amount. That's one opinion.
Rory's giving me the I don't agree face.
I mean, I've missed a lot, so I'm gonna have to catch up and get with Marco and figure out what I gotta do.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say about like what you're saying, Roy, if you miss a session, I think then it's hard to catch up. So I think as long as you go through whatever's been done in the day, then it's manageable. But if you don't, then it's a lot.
Yeah, yeah. And those are my times when I sit at the computer till midnight trying to get stuff done. So yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get caught up for sure.
I'm
The
sure you will.
platform that Sherry uses for this class, is it Go High Level that you're using?
Yep.
The way she has it structured is very helpful because I've missed some classes and gone in there and found exactly what I needed.
Okay. Cool. Good. Good. Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, and you guys are the first ones, so send me feedback as we're going through. So, any other questions? Okay. Tasha and Danny, if you guys want to drop off, Rory and Tamika, if you want to stay for a minute, I will give you the recap that I gave them at the beginning with regards to what we're doing next week.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
Thank you guys.
All right,
awesome.
ladies,
Bye,
have a good
y'all.
All
weekend.
right.
You
See
See
you
you
too.
next
later.
week.
Bye, y'all.
So next week we have our last class, and we will be in.
Alrighty.
I know, isn't that crazy? I mean, we're still working for the rest of the quarter.
Yeah.
So next week, what we're gonna do is we are meeting in person at my studio. You guys have both been there, so you know where to go. So at 9, let's see. So Rory, you're coming in at 9:30 and you're gonna do, I have you down to do your recording. You're not gonna do it? Because you're
No,
just gonna do it next week, right?
I have a presentation I have to give that morning at 10 a.m.
Okay.
So that's why I said if I can do it another time.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna delete you from this.
Yes, please.
Okay. So that day I will record it for you, but we're gonna be talking about from 10 to 11:30 we have class. And we're gonna do two things: camera confidence, and we're also gonna do how to manage guests who are gonna be on your podcast. So we'll have an hour and a half class. I have in here where we're meeting, I think it's conference room 3. I think that's upstairs.
I have on my calendar 11:30 to 3.
That was
What
probably
was that?
placeholder.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's in your thing on November
Oh, I may have
14th.
changed the time since then. I'm
It says
sorry.
11:30 to 3. So that's what I have on my calendar. And then yeah, the 10 to 11:30 I wouldn't be able to do, but I had planned to do my presentation and then come over to your office for that 11:30 to 3.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's my fault for I changed the I changed the time just so we had more space in between.
Okay, so that's not happening.
No, we're doing our class from 10 to 11:30. So you
Okay,
can
so
just
that
you don't have to,
11:30 to
yeah,
3 I
maybe
can
just
take
you probably
off.
don't even need to
Okay.
come. And you're in next week to do your recording, so we'll do your intro and your
Mm-hmm.
outro then.
Yeah, we'll do that. And yeah. Okay.
So class time will be at 10 to 11:30. Tamika, you are scheduled at 11:30 to
Mhm.
do your recording for your intro and your outro. Then we've got Trisha and then we have Danny. We're actually going to go do Danny's pictures as well after that. So we are going to create three different things, or you're going to record audio for three different things. One is it'll essentially be your first episode. It's going to be a little commercial for the podcast. So I'm super excited to announce that I'm launching a podcast. It's called Such and Such. It's going to come out on whatever date, January 1st, January 5th. Um, and we're going to talk about all things blah, 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 and, keep an eye out soon. And that we will give you, you won't do video, so you won't have to come looking good. It will just be audio. And that for that first episode, we'll just have your thumbnail with the audio. But it's nice to do that. Part of the reason why you want to do that kind of intro episode commercial, I just call it like a little commercial, is sometimes it can take a minute when you upload your first episode for the podcasting channels to get you live. So if you wait until your first episode, then you're going to be pissed that you don't see yourself on Apple Podcasts for 2 weeks. So our goal is to kind of launch that one a little bit ahead of time, right? Just to make sure everything's working. So you will record that. Again, use ChatGPT. Just say, hey, I'm doing a 1 to 2 minute commercial about this new podcast to help me write a script. And the great thing is you're not going to be on camera, so you can just read.
How long should it be?
Say 1 to 2 minutes.
1 to 2 minutes?
Yeah, no more than that. Denise Capurso has one. I will. I'll put it. I'll put it in the thing for next week. She did a good one. Then you're also going to record your intro, and that'll be on every podcast. And we worked on that in one of our previous classes. But keep it super short. Welcome to the blah 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 podcast, right? I'm Tamika, your host. This is where we talk about, how to use LinkedIn and, to get money, right? To grow your revenue. All right, let's dive in. You can choose, once you start moving, to not use your intro anymore. I actually don't use my intro anymore, but I want you to have it if you want to use it. Then when you start talking, you don't need to reintroduce yourself, right? You've already introduced yourself in the intro. But I want you to at least have it as an option. So that should be 10-ish seconds, like super, super short. Then you're going to do you're also going to record your outro. And again, we worked on this previously, but it should be thank you for listening. You can say if you want to be like Tamika, you're doing the audit. We talked about you doing the audits. Like if you want to be on a future audit, send me a DM or reach out to me on my website or, we hope you like this episode. Please tell your friends or please like and subscribe. Please leave us a review, whatever. Try not to give them too many things you want them to do. Try to pick one, whatever that might be. If you are guesting podcast, you're probably going to want to ask for future guests. So if you'd like to be a guest, if just want people to like and subscribe, you can do that. So.
Okay. Oh, and
So
how
you're
long
going to
would that be?
record all three of those. So be ready with those. And you can have them written out. Again, it's not on camera, so you'll be able to just read and you're just going to sit with the microphone in the studio. Go ahead, Tammy.
How long did you say for the outro?
Outro can be, people are like up to 30 seconds. I don't think you need that long. It should be 10 to 30 seconds.
Okay.
And you can ask ChatGPT what it recommends. What's the standard among podcasters right now? And, but you can use, I like using ChatGPT as a way to brainstorm, but generally it's thanks for listening. We hope that you learned how to get more digital swagger on LinkedIn. If you'd like to have me do your audit on a future episode, email me and be sure to like and subscribe, be sure to subscribe to our channel and share, and be sure to subscribe to the channel so you get updates on when future episodes are coming out. See you next time.
Perfect. Thank you. Just wrote mine.
Yeah, whatever it is. All right, sound good. So Rory, I won't unless you need me to be, I am not planning to be there with you next week. So, but you will be with Taylor. So she knows that you need to record these and she knows where to put them and everything. So
Okay. The only thing is if for some reason something happens and they don't come,
your guest?
yes, because he's a college football official,
Okay.
so he travels an awful lot right now during football season, but it's on his calendar. His assistant could come as well, but uh I'm wondering if they don't, what would I use that time for?
I mean, you have to do your intro anyway.
Can do that. And then how do I put it together to do some just individual
Yeah. So you can write
recording?
scripts, if you want, of whatever topic you want to do. And you could use the teleprompter. Just let us know ahead of time so we get it set up for you because it takes 15 minutes or so to get it set up.
Okay.
But then, yeah, you could just set up the teleprompter if you want and
Okay.
do some
So
stuff,
have
or you
like
can just
multiple,
reschedule
how
it.
many scripts could be? I mean, I'd probably do, a couple short things, right? Talk about a couple short things. So I guess
Yeah.
maybe two or
Well,
three.
yeah, one of the easiest things to do if you've got that extra studio time and you're already starting the podcast, right? You could pre-record some if you want, some of your podcast episodes while you're in there. Or you could just do a Q&A, like with yourself, right? So what's the
Well, I
best
kind of
time?
like how the dentist does it.
Yeah.
Um,
She does well, so she's been doing podcast episodes. So she just sits there and does podcast episodes. She does some Q&A, right? That can be used for reels, short little videos. She has been doing a lot of onboarding videos for her team as well as for clients. So like my bottom teeth are getting crooked as I get old. I'm 52 years old and my teeth are crooked.
They move.
Apparently they move. They haven't moved in 40 years, but now they're moving. So I'm doing Invisalign or Sure Smile, which is basically like Invisalign with her. When I got my intro email, there was a video in it of her taken in my studio of her saying, "Hey, so you're doing Sure Smile. Here's what to expect."
okay.
So she did a lot of those too.
Just a little intro. Okay.
Hey, so you're
How
getting
big though, like for an email? Because you can't really email. Like, is it a link?
Yeah, and no, it's just so what you do in the email is you create a GIF with a couple seconds of it and then you link out. And then it
Okay.
goes to either If you have a website that can handle it, cool. Otherwise, YouTube often.
Okay.
And you could just make it private on YouTube. And then you
Okay.
only see it if you have the link.
All right.
Unless you have, another way to host those videos.
Yeah.
I don't know where
No.
she has a like a CRM system that that hosts her videos for her.
Mhm.
But then like she did a whole series around like, so you're getting a root canal. Here's what to expect when you come in tomorrow, right? Don't take this, take that, when you get, and then she did another one that gets sent to the patient right after they leave. So you just had a root canal. Here's how you're going to be feeling, right? Don't eat, don't take this kind of medicine, that kind of stuff. So she did a lot. She's
Okay.
done a lot of that.
So
And then her
that would
husband's
be
coming
last
in.
resort. If they don't show up, I'll have some scripts ready that I could record, and then I'll just let you know ahead of time if I have to do the teleprompter.
Yep. And just send them to me ahead of time. The other thing that people
Okay.
do is they'll just do questions. And so you can have Taylor ask you if you want to have her sit down with you and she could ask you questions and you could just talk. You can do just talk to her. And I've done that with people where you can just chat GPT a bunch of questions, have her sit and ask you questions. You can answer them. I did that with Brad Kiesling from the chamber, and I did a whole bunch of those. And she is, her long-term goal is to have a talk show. So she's it's good practice for her too, if you want her to just, and then it
Okay.
looks like you're being interviewed. I mean, you are being
Yeah,
interviewed, but her video won't
talking
be.
in the background.
Yeah, her video, you just don't use her video. Very
Okay.
good. She'd be happy to, you know.
Yeah, like she's new in HR or new in the business, and what does that look like? Yeah.
Right. But
Okay.
we have to let her know so she, I don't know.
Be
I don't know if
ready.
she wears
Yeah.
lip gloss, but does whatever she would want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just let us know because we'll have to get the teleprompter set up. And the teleprompter, just from a time perspective, it's going to take you 20 minutes to get used to it, right? And reading, and how fast is it? How slow is it? How right? Tamika knows. So it takes a minute. Once you
Okay.
have it, then you're just cranking.
Okay. All right. Perfect.
But
And
it's kind
no,
of, yeah.
even if I don't end up doing the individual recordings next week, and George or Devin can come, then I want to schedule a time anyway to do that, because I think it'd be good.
Oh,
I have a lot to say.
okay. It's good. And you need the content, right? So anytime. Anytime.
Yep.
All right. Tamika, anything else?
No.
How'd your meeting go? Tamika
Yeah.
she's got this big deal going and they had questions today. So she was a little late today too. So,
I think
Oh,
it went well. Thank you.
okay.
They just asked a couple of clarifying questions.
Okay.
So we'll see.
I mean, that's good. At least they're calling. At least they have questions. They're not
Yeah.
like, yeah, we'll get back with you, maybe in Q2, right?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I appreciate you guys.
All right.
thank
Appreciate you.
you.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Thank
do the
you.
link, Sherry. I have it. It's on my little to-do list, my sticky pad,
Wait.
for my payment
Oh, yeah. Rory
for
owes
the
me money.
pictures. Yes.
Just kidding. All right. I'll talk to you
So,
later.
okay. Bye,
All right,
y'all.
bye.